Hello, my beautiful people. Una good evening or good morning, good afternoon, depending from when una come across this video. So, my correct people, abeg, my name na Amy. Yeah, this YouTube channel they call am Current News with Amy. If this na your first time when they come across this video, abeg, make you do subscribe so that you go fit come dey learn whenever I upload any video. That notification bell when dey very important because na im go notify you. Thank you very much and God bless you. For our today matter, so my people, na something wey be say we all need to know. Is something very important for those of our brothers and sisters when we say they Denmark or they plan to go Denmark, because Denmark so on the 3rd of this our June 2021 they don't bring new news come say asylum seeking no go dey possible again for Denmark. I go explain wetin I mean by that. So first of all, now as we all know, you come a country, you go the police or anywhere, you go seek asylum, put document for ground, your thumbprint or whatever. Then they'll come share you go house instead of Nami or anywhere before they'll come transfer you go live in house. And that's what they do for other countries. But for Denmark, so things go dey different. Once you come inside the country, if you succeed past the border, if you not succeed past the border, you fit do am for the Danish border there. So you go do am for there. Then they'll come carry people from one place. They no go let you inside the country again. No, rather they'll come package all of una go one particular African country. For now, Denmark now don get collaboration with Rwanda. That our African country, Rwanda, they don't get connection now with those ones. So now then I go dey carry anybody when seek asylum go that place. All this una dey talk so, not be lie. At the end of the day, I go still leave una with a video, una watch am so that una will get the true information, because me I dey like to dey give true and clear information so that we go understand. After they do that one finish, they will come carry you go there. When they still carry you go that place, so the which is the Rwanda or any country, because they won't still do collaboration with Tunisia, Eritrea, and other three countries like that. They won't do collaboration with those ones. So if it clear, now to the shuffle people, the way they come to the shuffle, now we say they will put this one out for Munich, put this one out for Berlin, and so they come to share for every country. You go Tunisia, the other one will go Eritrea, now so they come they do. Once they do that one finish, if your asylum true, if it work, no be Denmark document now you go self still get. Now the Rwanda or the Tunisia, any African country, we say they put you there. Now that particular document now you get. Those kind of countries they call them host country. Shebi you see and so it not make any sense now. Now that one be the new plan we say they get. Why? Because they get this policy of zero foreigners, or rather non-Denmark, which is you are not I want to put be their citizen. Because they don't like asylum, so you see and so. And these people when they bring and come, so now their own politicians, their own party, as they get PDP, APC for our country, now so themselves see one do and so when a particular party now come do and they can't still agree. You know see and so let me can say I beg go man quickly come tell my people. Because get plenty people will be saying they don't know what they happen. They know the wash news. That's why it's good I beg. Man, the wash news. The wash news. Even if you not feel understand the language for the country where be say you dey, I beg. Try to dey listen. Go YouTube. They listen to news for your own particular country. Go help nobody to dey play music or to dey do all these things. If you don't know where you there, if you don't know the law, my people. Now be say you never reach. So now this one I say man rush. Can't tell una. Man leave una with the video. Mona watch and I beg. Mona subscribe, like, share. To those people when be say they don't know wetin dey go on, and also comment what you think. If you get any questions,
Foreign Affairs commentator Douglas Herbert.
Then may you subscribe so that
as I said, Denmark already has some of the toughest stances on migrations in the EU.
Don't forget that notification
now it's just going to get tougher.
Tell you when I come online. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the latest in a series of moves that have been really just targeting migrants. It's been part of a broader anti-immigrant movement in Denmark. You know, when you talk about these days a fortress Europe, a Europe closing its hatches, battering down, not letting outsiders in, Denmark perversely sort of embodies that image the best, more than almost any other European country. We've already seen the government deliberately sort of set as its target a zero refugee target, essentially meaning exactly that, what it sounds like. It doesn't want any asylum seekers or refugees in Denmark. At the same time, there's been a whole debate about ghettos in Denmark, especially in the bigger cities, the capital, Copenhagen, so on and so forth. And this has been talk about targeting or trying to reduce social housing in Denmark for so-called non-Western populations. Let me translate non-Western for you. It means non-white, and it largely means non-European. So you've already had this very sharp rhetoric, which has been perceived in many quarters among the small immigrant population there as being very discriminatory. The UN Human Rights Commissioner has called these policies, and the latest move as well, a frightening race to the bottom, and says that it really just flies right in the face of all the norms about international asylum cooperation. And like you said, what this move essentially does is it would make it virtually impossible for asylum seekers to be able to not just get into Denmark, but to settle and stay there if their applications are approved. They would now be sent to a third country, which is euphemistically called a host country, put in an asylum detention there while their applications are being processed. And then, Nadia, if on the slight chance those applications are actually approved, what happens then? Do they get to go and set up their new dreams for life in Denmark? No. They would stay in that third country, and feel lucky not to have been deported. That's what's being talked about. The countries that are being in talks with Denmark, reportedly, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, countries that human rights groups say are not exactly shining exemplars of their own human rights record, which opens up questions of access to asylum and the right to protection for asylum seekers. So there's a Pandora's box here that this move opens up, but it is in line with a whole series of policies that we've seen in Denmark getting tougher and cracking down on the non-white, non-European population of the country.
And Doug, this is being pushed through by the Social Democratic Prime Minister of Denmark. Why are these policies coming from the centre-left?
Because they are taking the policies straight from the playbook of a far-right party, the Danish Folk Party, which is the Danish People's Party. Now, that party won big in elections 6 years ago, back in 2015, and the now Social Democratic Prime Minister took her lesson from that. She was defeated back then, and she said never again, basically, to herself, am I going to have a strategy that doesn't somehow take into account the migrant situation. So she did what a lot of politicians, mainstream politicians in Europe have been doing, taking hard right, anti-immigrant, anti-migrant policies and making them the norm. They're now part of the mainstream political discourse. So we have seen Mette Frederiksen, the current prime minister, at the head of a center-left social democratic government, basically co-opting the agenda of a far-right party on immigrants in order to perhaps make her party's positions more palatable to society at large. Denmark being, once again, a small country, fewer than 6 million, not used to mass migration, very white, predominantly white, very used to a nice lifestyle with high taxes but great social benefits. So there's a lot of questions about identity going forward, and these far-right groups are playing into the identity politics, the concerns that mass migration, if it were to happen, could have on identity politics, so on and so forth. The main thing to take away is this type of policy now, Nadia, is the norm. It is mainstream in European political discourse.
All right, really interesting stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Douglas Herbert, talking to us there.